Nice to be here this morning. And the only reason that is making me feel very nice is every time I interact with young people, I feel young again. And sometimes I wish there was a possibility of rewinding the clock. But unfortunately, that is not very possible. But yesterday, as I was preparing for this talk, I listened to a clip by one professor from Canada, and he was saying they are struggling to extend the definition of youth, not between 18 to 35, but between 18 to 49. And I was telling myself, oh my God, I'm a youth again. Because you feel, every one of us is like now fitting in that definition, because they say you start feeling tired when you reach 50. Life begins at 40. And therefore, if you are in between 40 and 50, you are still a very strong person. You are a very energetic person, enthusiastic, excited, and as such, you also belong to that category of being called a youth. But sometimes that is just a kind of a defense mechanism. You are looking for consolation to fight the natural procedure of climbing the ladder of age, and accepting that now is not about talking about youth for the future, but youth for now. Because I can imagine I have a son who is 18 years old, and if I have to tell him, you are the future leader, you will take my position when I die, and maybe I'm going to live up to I am 70. By the time he gets the baton, he will already not qualify to be a youth again. Are you getting my point? So I think it's time we start talking about future, not future, but present, isn't it? Yes, because they say yesterday is history. What went yesterday has gone. And tomorrow is mystery. No one knows what is going to happen tomorrow. But today is a gift. That's why in English we call it present tense. It's about today. It is what you do today that will ultimately affect you in the future. So if you want your future, if you want tomorrow to be great, you have to make sure you take care of your today. Because sometimes you have to give that which you love most to get what you want badly. You got to give up that which you love so much for you to get that which you need very badly. And sometimes they say also, when you don't take care of your summer, the winter will be too harsh. So the best time to take care of your life is the time when you are young. That is the summertime. Everything is like, blooming. Everything is growing. The roses are opening and the rivers are flowing and love is singing and beautiful birds are, on such kind of beautiful environment and scenery. And every time you stand in front of a mirror, you see yourself as the most beautiful person in this world. Are you getting my point? But as you grow older now, every time I remember how I looked when I was 18, I don't want a mirror anymore. I said, no, don't give me a mirror anymore. I don't want to see how I am changing, because it's like scaring, isn't it? Yes. So young people, you have to be very careful when you are young, because it's easier to be young than to be old. And you need to ask me, because I know what it means to be young, and now I know what it means to be an old person. But it's easier to be old when you are prepared for the old age. It's very hard to be old when you're not prepared for the old age. Somebody somewhere wrote and said, when you are old, it's a problem by itself, because age is not interesting. I can tell you that. It's not really interesting. Okay? It comes with a lot of complication. But it might be easier because it's a law of nature. Everybody who is born will one day become old, and then one day will die. There are certain things in life you cannot change. They are called the lighthouse principle. You've got to accept it. It's the ship that has to make sure it is taking a different direction, not to hit the lighthouse. The lighthouse cannot move. And there are certain things in life you cannot change at all. You have to take them the way they are. And one of those things is the process of aging. No one has discovered the medicine. They're really struggling, but I'm sure it's not going to be easy, because it's a law of nature. But it's difficult when you are old and then you are illiterate. You're not highly educated. Very hard. Because the 21st century is a century of knowledge, skills, attitudes, and the cash. The knowledge, the attitude, the skills, and the right habits. If you don't have that, becomes a problem in the 21st century. It's very unique, unlike the other centuries that have come and gone. This century is a century of brain power, not manpower. It is not how good you look, it is how sharp you think. that matters in this century. I always tell people, even if you're 60, but if your pocket is full, the 18 years old girl will say something good on you. Isn't it? Because, and the vice versa. Are you getting my point? So it's hard to be old, but it's harder when you're old and you're not highly educated. It's much, much harder when you are old, you're not highly educated, and then you are broke. That might even be a little bit easier. It's more difficult when you're old, you are illiterate, you are broke, and then you're sick. It's worse when you are old, then you are illiterate, then you are broke, then you are sick, and you are ugly. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are to discuss today is the role of the youth in countering violent extremism. Are you getting my point? And I will begin by giving my understanding on some of these terms, how you can define them as a young person, so that they can become more practical, pragmatic. That's something you unaweza kufanya leo, ukasoma leo, ukatumia kesho. It is not academic. You know, we are not in a university class. We are here to learn those things that we can use and influence our lives in a very positive way. Are you getting my point? So when you talk about the role first, role, R-O-L-E, it is to say, how are you reasoning when it comes to violent extremism? How do you see it? How do you perceive it? When you're talking, this is my role. R stands for reasoning. From your mental perspective, how do you reason? Do you think it is a justified process of us requesting, asking, forcing for what belongs to us to be ultimately given to us? Or do you think there is a better way of doing things so that ultimately we get what we deserve without shedding any blood and without offending any other person? How do you reason? How does your mind think about violent extremism? When you're asking, this is my role, R tells you need to reason in a very positive way. Assess your reasoning. Why? Because you have to be careful of what you think. What you think affects the way you feel. How you feel affects the way you act. How you act affects your destiny. We are not described by what we say in life. We are described by what we do. You steal, you're called a thief. You kill, you're called a murderer. It's not what you say, it's what you do. So you have to be very careful, because it is what happens in your mind, and that is what Mr. Mandela said. Peace and wars begin in the minds of men and women, so as peace. Peace is not acquired in a boardroom around the table. It's acquired when the minds of men and women start reasoning in a very perspective and a positive way. Are we together? So role. Oh, how optimistic are you that it is possible for us to have peace? Role means your level of optimism. Are you a go-getter? Or are you someone who is waiting for other people to go get it for you? Are you someone who believes that it's up to you to do what you're supposed to do in order to bring change in your life and in the lives of other people? Just like one of you, Obutu, I think he said, Mahatma Gandhi said, you have to be the change that you want to see in your life. If it is to happen, then it is up to you to make it happen, not up to somebody else. So how optimistic are you? Okay. L. Your role means assessing your limitations. How limited are you in terms of struggling, fighting, and making sure we have peace? Peace within ourselves. Because if you have no peace within yourself, you can never make peace with anyone else. Remember, my dear brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, you can never give anyone what you do not have. You can't. So, if you want to be an activist, if you want to be a peacemaker, if you want to be a peace cultivator, then you have, first of all, to have peace within your mind. Stephen Covey calls it the 8th habit that is living a balanced life, understanding that your mind has to coordinate with your heart and your heart has to coordinate with your body for you to have peace and happiness in your life. You have to coordinate. It's called the triangle of tranquility and happiness in life. And this triangle, one angle of it, the 60-degree angle, one of it is how are you taking care of your mind? Even when someone is talking to you, what do you take and what do you drop? One of these, a few days ago, I was in a conference giving a keynote address, and I saw a leso somewhere, and it was written, kama wewe wani delete, kuna mwingine ana download. Kama wewe wani download. Kama wewe wani delete, kuna mwingine anani download. So, are you getting my point? So where is your limitation? Huh? Yeah? Are you someone who is thinking that I cannot influence anybody else? Or are you someone who feels you can be able to reach out to so many people and ultimately establish the atmosphere of peace in your own community? So it's very important first to make sure peace is with you before you give it to anyone else. Are you getting my point? And then E in the word of role, how willing are you to engage with others? The exercise you did this morning was a very interesting one. You were able to engage. And that is the whole interesting aspect that the young people need to have. It's called the relational capital. My dear girls and boys, in life, you become who you know. So if in your phone book, the only people you have numbers for are poor people, forget about becoming rich. You can't. Everyone who calls you is penniless. How do you expect to make money? Are you getting my point? Even when you are in a problem and you need 500 shillings only M-Pesa, you don't know who to call to send you that 500 shillings. Don't you think it's a problem? So it's called relational capital. So if the company you have is a company of people who are warmongers, violent extremists, people who are not interested in peace, then it becomes very difficult for you also to get peace. Nurture is stronger than nature. Umleavyo ndivyo hakuna. And then one interesting thing is you become what you eat. Yes. So you can't complain you are too fat when you are busy eating biryani and pilau every day. Okay? So what do I mean by this? I mean that you also have to have both mental, spiritual and physical diet for you to become an effective individual who is happy and is able to give other people happiness. Are we together? So that's the meaning to me. That is when you talk about role, that's what you should be able to think. Hiyo ndio kitu ambacho natakana ufikirie. Kwamba my role is how I reason, my role is how optimistic I am in life, and my role is going beyond my limits. I have no limitation. The limit you put is you put it yourself. Nobody can stop you. You can go beyond and above. Even these days, they say, no, it's not the sky is my limit. No. People have discovered above the sky there are other things that are more beautiful than the sky. Are you getting my point? So your limit is above the sky. It's not below the sky. It's not up to the sky. It's going beyond the sky. And then understanding that I need to engage with other people. And it's called relational capital. Who you know is very, very important. I always tell people you have to make sure there are certain connections you cannot avoid in the 21st century. And this connection is whether you like it or not, sometimes you'll become sick. You need to know a doctor. Whether you like it or not, you'll have a legal problem in one time or the other. You need to know a lawyer. Whether you like it or not, you'll have children you have to take to school. You need to know an educationist. Whether you like it or not, you might want to buy a house. You should know somebody in the real estate agents. You need to know who can give you what we want in this life. And for you to know how to develop peace, create peace, make peace, you have to know who to connect with. Learn this from me today. Your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. When you are making the circle of influence, how many people you can reach out in your life to influence them positively so that you prevent violent extremism, you need to ask how many circles can I make in your life in terms of creating your influence. Can you write down the word influence, please, quickly, because of time? Influence. We as young people, we are better placed to influence other young people. I make a lot of noise. I'm glad I have some of my students here, Haiba and Zaharia, I make a lot of problems. Sometimes I shout, sometimes I scream that you guys have to do well in life. You got to read, and such kind of thing. And one time I sat down and said, why am I not making breakthrough to these young people? Why are they not doing what I'm asking them to do? Then it came to my mind that sometimes because of the generation gap, as I talk to them, they look at me as an old person. And in their mind, their psychology is telling them, even him when he was young, he was doing exactly what we are doing. It is just because now he is old, that's why he is not doing what we are doing. So sometimes peer influence is very powerful. It's very strong. So when a young person tells another young person, it's not good to be violent. It's good to have peace. It's good to have harmony in our society. It makes more impact. But how do we influence each other now? I in the word influence. We want to be interested in one. Must be interested in one another. We need to develop that of having feelings for each other. I would not like to see my good friend going to Al-Shabaab and then one day he is killed. I would not like my society to lose as many young people as it has been losing, because therefore you have to get interested in the lives of others for you to also have a good life for your own self. Are you getting my point? Yeah. And you have to be neutral. You should never show someone else that you are taking any side. You have to portray that image that you are someone who can relate with anyone and you are willing to cooperate and do good to anyone in your life. Anyone who comes through your way, you are able to make a good relationship with that particular person. You must always be fair and factual in your life. Fair and factual in your life. That means you should treat others the way you would like to be treated, isn't it? Yes. For some of you who are Muslim, you say, أحب لناس ما تحب لنفسك. Desire for others what you desire for yourself. And those who are reading the Bible, Jesus said that for you to reach the kingdom of the Lord, you must love for others what you love for yourself. At the end of the day, when you feel like this is not good, there you have to stop somebody else also not to do that which is not good. So it's very important. You have to be willing to learn, because learning ultimately changes behavior. So if you're willing to learn and assist other people, learn. And believe me, learning never stops in our life. It is from that womb to the tomb, between the two darkness of your life. Are you getting my point? The womb, the darkness of the womb of the mother, and the darkness of the womb of the grave. In between is the struggle for enlightenment. In between the two darkness, our struggle is for enlightenment. Getting more educated, getting more learned, having more awareness, and such kind of thing, to capacity build ourselves, to empower ourselves, so that ultimately we become effective, efficient, and competent young people. The tragedy is not getting what you deserve in life. The tragedy is having the opportunity to get what you want in life and then you screw it up. I was talking to one young person the other day and I looked at him. He had all the qualities of someone who should be great in life, from the physical appearance to intellectual ability and every other thing, but he was begging on the streets. I stopped my car and he told me, can you give me 50 shillings? I have never eaten anything. And I told him, my friend, what did you do for God's sake? What is it that you didn't do right to reach where you have reached? And a lesson came to me. In life, if you want to be a successful young person and be able to build your own personal resilience, you have to sit with two people. One is a youth who has done all the wrong things and now he is in a state of desperation. And ask him, my friend, what did you do wrong? And take notes. Learn every bad thing, every disadvantage he went through, and say, I'm not going to do this that you did. And then sit with another one who is very successful, making it in life. Ask him, how did you make it? Now we have two lists. The list of what to do and the list of what not to do. Learn this from me today. Success is not a destination. Success is a habituation. It is the little things you do every day that ultimately will either make you a successful person or it will make you a failure. We need to change that culture of negative gangs to positive gangs, of negative maskans to positive maskans, from negative platforms to positive platforms, and the media and so many other things that are now at our fingertips that we could use to make more positivities in our life than the negativity that is there in terms of slogans which ultimately influence us in a very negative way. You need to empower yourself. If you want to make people better, you must be better yourself first. So how sure are you are positive about peace? How sure are you are so angry with this violent extremism? You're so angry with the way young people are losing direction and getting influence to join the violent extremist organization. And then you need to have negotiation skills. Negotiate. My dear young people, 21st century, according to educational practices, has 6 skills which are a must for every young person. They are called the skills of 21st century for young people, for the youth. The 6 skills that are crucial for every youth in the 21st century. The first one, and these 6 skills they all begin with letter C. All the 6 skills begin with letter C. The first C is the C of creativity, just like Fahad did this morning. Doing things differently, not following the conservative, traditional, and the old way of doing things. It doesn't mean my father was a fisherman, but today I'm a professor. I didn't have to follow the footsteps of my father. I don't have to. So I don't have to say because my community was like this, my friends are like this, I also have to be like this. No, you have to be creative to see how you can perfect, how you can improve, how you can grow, how you can become a person who is different from very many people. And this is very clear in many literature that you read. If you keep on doing what others have been doing, you will keep on becoming what others have become. If you want to be different from so many people in the future, you have to do that which many people are not willing to do today. If you want to have what many people will not have in the future, you must be willing to do that which many people don't want to do today. And that's the only way. So the skill of creativity. How creative are you? Therefore, that skill is very important for all of. We are not starving because we don't know what to do. We are starving because we don't know how to do what we are doing. And therefore, it's still looking very old, very vague, and not clear to so many people. And that's why we are not making the breakthrough in terms of preventing violent extremism. Are we together? The second skill of 21st century for young people is the skill of critical thinking. You got to question everything you see, you feel, and you do in your life. You got to question. You should never be a buyer. You should struggle also to be a seller. You should not just be a consumer community that people do whatever they do and they come and sell it to you and you are a very willing buyer. You should also make your own products, which are products of peace, and sell to those who have not seen the value of peace. Are you getting my point? So it's become very crucial. Critical thinking. Questioning is the gateway to every learning. Questioning. Inquiry, asking, demanding for explanation, demanding for facts, not just to take things from peripheries, from the surface. Uzuri wa mkakasi ndani kipande cha mti. Na Waswahili wanasema ganga shina la uhai, tanzuze hazigangiki. You got always to know the reason why. Why? You know, when you know why, the moment you know why, the what, the when, and the how, and with whom, and with what becomes automatic. The tool for you to build your capacity, empower yourself, and become the great person you want to become is asking yourself, why? Why? Can you explain to me why do you want me to become a member of a violent extremist organization? Why? Do I have to join this organization? Why? The moment you know the reason why, whatever you do becomes easy to do it. When you love what you do and you do what you love, doing it becomes so sweet. Usijidai kwa umbo maumbile sote sawa. Nyusi na nywele ni pambo, uota na kunyolewa. Kuna maalum mambo yafaa kuzingatiwa. Okay. You can't do what you don't know how to do, isn't it? You have to learn how to do it. And for you to learn how to do it, you have to ask, why do I have to do it? And then you'll do it without getting tired. Becomes a darling, a sweetie, a honey. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nikikuona kwa mbali moyo wangu huja juu. Kwa macho yangu mawili, I look at you. Simwambie wa pili that I love you. Now the third C, critical thinking. We said creativity, critical thinking, and the third one is collaboration, working together. Collaboration, working together. Together, everybody achieves more. The way we are here today, if we go out with the same vision, and and the same mission, the same objectivity, the same spirit, and say, look, we have to say no. Enough is enough. 2 weeks ago, a cousin of mine came and told me, my friend, my life is over. I said, what happened? He said, she said no. I said, what do you mean? What word did she use? She said, halas. Enough is enough. I am done with you. And uncle, it was so strong. She meant it. So there is nothing we can do. You have to mean it. You getting my point? Yeah. Anything you want to do in life, you got to mean it. And the moment it sinks in you that the spirit of peace and that urge to make sure violent extremism become the thing of past, you have to mean it. And for you to mean it, no one has succeeded alone. You got to synergize. Collaboration, teamwork. If we all work together, we will go very, very far. When you walk alone, you can go very fast. But when we walk with others, you can go very far. Are you getting my point? So it's very important to understand that we all need each other to make sure peace prevails in our community. Because with no peace, there is no life. Life is not about peace. Life itself is meant to be peace. Therefore, if you're talking about peace, you're talking about your own life. Without peace, there is no life at all. And this is proven beyond any reasonable doubt. So the third C of the 21st century skills of young people is collaboration. The fourth C is the C of consistency. Continuing what you are doing because you're convinced is the right thing to do. It's not just about coming to Total Bay. It's not just about going to a conference, to a workshop. It's about wherever you are. You have to continue. Njia inayopitiwa kila siku haimei nyasi. A student of mine, a second-year student in Bachelor of Science, came to me, Mwalimu, I need a help. I'm almost dropping out from college. It's like things are not easy for me. There is someone who has become a mosquito in my net. And she's really disturbing me. What do? I say, kill it. I said, what do you mean I kill it? Because it is disturbing you. Say, no, I love the sound of the mosquito. So what do? I say, go tell the mosquito, I love your sound. Keep on singing. Said, I've told her. Tell her again, and again, and again, and again, the whole semester. Tell her in writing, tell her in singing, tell her in demonstrating, tell her. And then one day she came and told me, Mwalimu, wow, I've made it. Consistency, doing it every day. Mioyo ya binadamu imetengenezwa na nyama na damu. Silaha inayolainisha ni maneno tamu peke yake. Na kuhakikisha kwamba hutomaliza hamu, kwa sababu hilo ndilo alilofundisha Karimu. Na baadaye ukawa mtu mahashumu, na bila tatizo ukawa hutaki kumwaga damu. Lakini mapenzi yaliyojaa ndilo jambo ambalo linahitajika lidumu. As a young person, that is really important. So, the C of consistency. You sleep peace, you walk peace, you talk peace, you eat peace, you do everything peace. And ultimately, peace will prevail. And it will be the day when you will say, yes, I have made it. Yes, I'm so happy. Today is my Eid day. My teacher who didn't get married until he was 55. The day we got married, in Lamu culture, he didn't know what to do. Now he was in the room with the girl and he was just looking at the girl, expecting the girl to tell him what to do. And the girl was waiting for Ustaz to say, let's do it, man. We are here now. We belong to each other. Are you getting my point? Now the first day, we keep on waiting for the response, no response. Bwana harusi hajashika nyumba bado. The second day, bwana harusi hajashika nyumba. Siku ya tatu duhul, bwana harusi hajashika nyumba. Now we start getting worried. Ustaz, vipi siku ya tatu leo? Mambo, sema wallahi mimi nikija kule ndani, sijui nimshike wapi mkono kitu. Now what do? I said, okay, man, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like, okay? This is how they sleep. And this is where you should touch, and this is where you should go. Okay, fine. Today, don't fail us, please. This is embarrassing. And the guy went back, and in the morning when he came for Subh prayer, and the mosque said, Minal Aidin. I said, today is not Eid. For me, it's Eid. I've made it. You people should have told me. I would have died without tasting the paradise of this life. This is Jannah. Now, what do I mean by this? This is a sea of coordination, knowing what to do. The sea of coordination, learning how to do what you do, and then you do it very well. Are you getting my point? And then finally, the sixth sea is the sea of coexistence, learning to live with other people. Remember, we have something we call globalization. We are no longer living in our villages. We are now living in multi-sectoral societies, multi-ethnic, multi-religious. Everything is plural. We have moved from the singular perspective of life. We have now into pluralism in life. Therefore, you have to learn how to tolerate other people. We are complete in this room. We are maybe 100 different individuals. We can never be the same. You can't think the same way. We cannot feel the same. So we go to learn how to live with each other. It's not about conversion. It's about acceptance. It's about complementing each other's effort. It's about complementing each other's skills. It's understanding that for me to exist, somebody else must also exist. The environment has to be a peaceful environment for all of us to move together. Because of time, now the whole idea I was presenting on a PowerPoint in a summary way, because if I go PowerPoint, I'll take the whole day here. Now, the second aspect that we needed to discuss was the prevention aspect. To me, I was reading the 2250 resolution of the United Nations, and I was reading the National Counterterrorism Strategy and the Kwale, Mombasa, Lamu, and Kilifi counterterrorism strategies. And to me, I summarized. I'm going to summarize because of time. What are the preventive strategies that young people can use to prevent violent extremism? Before we counter, we must first prevent, because prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. Now, prevention. What is prevention? P in the word prevention. Write the word prevention. Prevent. When you say I am preventing, what are you talking about? Believe me, you can never prevent anything without having a positive mentality. A positive mentality. The 3 B's of life: believing, behaving, and being brave. Believing, behaving, and being brave. They say prior preparation prevents young people from engaging themselves into violent extremism. Prior preparation. That means taking care of your own personal perspectives, your own thinking. Even if, and this is a fact, there is marginalization, even if there is oppression, even if there are things that are really hurting, but there are other ways of getting those things that are hurting. P, to prevent, you must work on your perspective. Now, this P I am talking about makes the 3 P's, which are very important for young people in preventing and countering violent extremism. The first P is the P of being positive. The second P is the P of being patient. And the third P is the P of being persistence. Continue doing what you are doing until you see the results, until you get what you feel should be there in life. Prevent. R in the word prevent. The first P, rational, the rationality, am I right, of your thinking. Being rational in your thinking. Putting things in their right perspective. Putting the positives and the negative. I always tell my students this. E plus R gives you O. E plus R gives you O. E plus R is equal to O. Event plus the way you respond will give you outcome. Love learns by laughing, first to speak, then slice, then cares passing, greets. La 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 la. Mambo mengine yanakuja baadaye. I look at you and I smile at you, and I'm a girl, you say, she smiles, she's my sister, I like her, she's my sister. If I smile at you and I'm a girl and they say, whoa, ameona kitu kwangu. Are you getting my point? You come, we take a cup of tea, I tell you, can you sit next to me? Amengiana. I may say, no, that's because my sister, are you getting my point? E, event, what happens, and the way you respond to it gives you the outcome. A new student came to Pwani University, first year. And normally we encourage the Muslim brothers to take care of their Muslim sisters. And the Christian brothers to take care of the Christian sisters. So that they are not exploited because they're still very naive, young. They've just reported to campus. They're not bullied, they're not taken for granted, and they build their capacity. So one girl met a brother who was too overkind to her. He was willing to do everything and anything for her. And therefore, they went on like that. The semester ended, the second semester. Now, the third semester, this boy was a final year. He was to leave the campus. This girl was now to go to the second year. So before doing his exam, one day they were in a canteen, taking their tea during break time, and he told her, you know, my sister, I'm so glad now I am soon going to graduate. You know what? Because I was engaged before I came, before he finished the word engaged, the girl was down. In the mind of the girl, she thought this boy was in love with her. But in the mind of the boy, this was a sister. I am protecting. Event plus response gives you the outcome. It's how you say it. And believe me, my dear brothers and sisters, when you stop looking at things the way you look at them, the things you look at also change. So when you look at those things that ultimately works on your emotion and they make you violent and you think twice, إذا أردت أن تفعل أمرا فتدبر عاقبته وإن كان خيرا فانظر وإن كان شرا فانظر. When you want to do anything, first think about it, analyze it, digest it. If the positivity is more than the negativity, then do it. If the negativity is more than the positivity, then stop it. Don't do it. Wewe umeshika moto alafu hutaki ukuchome. What do you mean? You can't do that. You have to be sure that if I do this, the outcome will be this. So it's very important to understand that. P of positivity, P of patience, and P of persistence. R of being rational, R of having good relationship, because you become what you keep around you. You are an average of the 10 people you interact with every day. That's according to research. Every one of us, you and me today, we are an average of the 10 people we interact with every day. If the 10 people you interact with every day are useless people, I'm sorry, you are also useless. Are you getting my point? If the 10 people you interact with every day are people who are very positive, be happy. You are a very positive person, because birds of the same feather flock together. The eagle does not fly with the pigeon because the pigeon is a coward. They don't like flying alone. They fly in a flock. The eagle does not fly with the ostrich because the ostrich is a hypocrite. They bury their heads thinking their bodies are not seen. Are you getting it? Eagle does not fly with vulture because the vulture is ugly. And it eats dead meat. Are you getting my point? So very important to understand that who you keep around you, that is what you become in your life. So from today, analyze the circle you are in And if the circle you are in are full of people who are broke, you got to think twice from today. You are also broke, most likely. Most likely. Another professor of mine in Switzerland was telling me, show me your friend and I can guess your bank balance. Show me your friend and I can guess your bank balance. Show me the restaurant you eat and I can tell you how much you earn. Are you getting my point? Yes. Show me your friend and I will tell you the kind of a person that you are. So what you keep, your relational capital. And then the last R is the R of rejuvenating yourself. Not allowing yourself to go down, to get bored, to get, rejuvenating yourself. That's very, very important. Okay? Prevent E is the E of being excited. From here, my dear young people, you must be excited about the whole idea of becoming ambassadors of peace and preventing and countering violent extremism. Apart from being excited, you have to be enthusiastic. You can't wait the 2 days to end, to go back to Kwale, to remain in Kilifi and go to Mombasa and go to Lamu, and you become that ambassador that you want everybody else to, to maintain, to preach, to become peaceful in their lives. That is very, very important. You have to always think of how you can rejuvenate yourself. Because all of us, at one time or the other, we grow weak. We become low. We get tired. What is it that turns you on? What is it that puts you on? What is it that can take you out of your bed early in the morning? What can take away your sleep at night? When you realize that in your locality, in your village, in your city, in your county, recruits have camped. What is it that will make you agitated? You got to really think of how you can have more energy. Prevent. V. Value verification yardstick. I always tell people radicalization is a process of promoting values so that people can feel more respected, and through that, therefore, they buy the commodity and the product given to them by violent extremists. It's all about values. It took a lot of discussions with the Luo elders to make the Luos circumcise. It was their value. It is taking a long struggle to make the community that does FGM to stop doing FGM, because it's about value. I was in Garissa one day as a facilitator in an FGM focus group discussion, and one of the old men told me, Malimu, I have something, I need to correct you somewhere. Malimu, you are saying FGM, female genital mutilation. Sio hivyo Mwalimu. What does it say? FGD, female genital decoration. We are decorating them, and you are talking about mutilation. Value. So extremism and violent extremism and radicalization is a matter of playing with people's value. That's why religion becomes the best pathway. Because when God has said, this is said by God, who are you to question? It's said by God. It's the value. Are you getting my point? So we really need to have value verification yardstick. So the value. And the third V in the prevention is vary the method you are using to counter violent extremism. Value. Vary the method. Because of time, the second E in the word prevent is empower yourself. Learn more. So that you can be able to do more. At the same time, encourage others to join the bandwagon. My dear young people, there are 6 ways of encouraging young people to involve themselves in positive movements, encouraging them to get into the stream of the river which provides for livelihood in a society or in a community. One way is developing a slogan that everybody can use very easily, every day, everywhere. The second one is creating bandwagon. You don't have to get everybody on board. You have to start with 20%, and the 20% will give you the 80%. Work with those who are willing to work with you. And then the others will join you when they see the results are positive. It's called bandwagon. And then number 3 is expert opinion. Get those voices that are respected. Credible voices. Voices that when they speak, And believe me, that is one strategy the violent extremists use. First, they discredited all the credible voices, and their voice became stronger than the credible voice. So it becomes very important. Say, is expert opinion. Number 4 is repetition. Repetition, doing it every time and everywhere with everybody, talking about peace, talking about how bad violent extremism is. Very, very important. So it's very important to understand. And then the last one is the brand, using acceptable brand. And that is why the violent extremists, the best brand they have is religion, is a brand. You use a brand. When they go to areas where political instability is the order of the day, their brand becomes politics. When they go to areas where socio-economic imbalances and problems are prevailing so much, they change the brand from religion to socio-economic factors. When it comes to psychological self-esteem and searching for identity and personal redemption, now they say it's about you, who you become. Join us and you'll become better than who you are. We move you from nothing to becoming somebody, from zero to a hero. Are you getting my point? Giving people the sense of living, the sense of belonging, meaning in life. Because the purpose of living is living a purposeful life. Now, giving that individual that purpose that you are living for this becomes very, very important. And in the word prevent, you must nurture. Nurture. Give small doses. Start in a small way. 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Start what do they call snowball effect. Snowball effect. Keep rolling. And then at the end of the day, you will capture each and every one you are interested in capturing, the young person. And they will join your movement. And finally, you become an ambassador of peace. You cannot nurture if you are negative. You have to avoid being negative. And then the third end is understanding how to negotiate your way out. You got to be like a river. You got to be like a river. Ultimately, you have to find your sea. And the sea we are talking about here is the sea of peace and preventing violent extremism. The river flows from the higher lands, but it comes down to the coast here. River Sabaki, River Tana. You can imagine what the river went through to reach the Indian Ocean. And all of us, the hard way, the only way. The only consolation which is there is that when God sends you on a strong path, stony path, He gives you strong shoes. You just have to have faith. Faith. When the disciple of Jesus told Jesus, can you give us power also to heal the way you heal? And then Jesus told them, go out and heal. And the disciples went out to heal, and they healed nobody. Then they came back, Master, we tried and didn't work. Say, you don't have faith. How can you do it? You have no faith. You got to believe yourself. That which you do has to come from you. And then now it becomes the law of attraction. It's a law of attraction. People become who you are. If you want other people to become like you, then if you want to be good, other people to be good, you also have to be good. Very, very important. Then T, take care of, use every possible talent. Every possible talent. Yesterday they launched a program in Nairobi. Ministry of Defense in collaboration with Brave. The talent, Lenga Ugaidi na Talanta. And they're saying any youth group that will come up with a clip of video for about 15 minutes, they will get $500,000 if that video will be accepted by them. It's a clip of 15 minutes for preventing violent extremism. The clip that will win, the first prize is $500,000, the second prize is $350,000, and the third prize is $250,000. Are you getting my point? If you get that money, my friend, I'm going to marry another woman. I don't know what you do. So if you are not married, that could be your opportunity. Kwa sababu siku hizi wataka furniture, unajua? Sio rahisi sana. Okay? So talent and then time conscious. You have to be time conscious, and then whatever you do it thoroughly.
Swali langu mimi mmoja katika miaka 2002 nilipoacha shule tu, nilibahatika nikawa nimewahi kama ushakusikia kuhusu wash kutengeza pesa fake. Yani niliwahi kuwa professional conman. Wakati ule katika elimu niloipata, ili uwe conman mzuri lazima utafute mtu aliyesoma. Huwezi mkoni mama kuuza mboga wala chapati mpaka tutafute profesa kama Mujahid. Ni rahisi kukoni Mujahid kuliko kumkoni mama mboga. Hiyo ndio elimu niliyopata. Na katika research zangu ninazozifanya, wengi wanaochukuliwa na shababu huwa ni watu wenye tarifa ya elimu au kikazi au nini. So nataka kujua tu profesa, ni elimu gani inayotumika mpaka ikaja kuna issue katika Facebook ilikuja, mbona sisi wanajeshi wetu tunachukua E's na D's wa al-Shabaab ndio wanachukulia mapesi. Na wengi walio al-Shabaab tunakuta ukipata historia ni wale wenye A's. Alafu ukiangalia wengi waliokwenda pia wengi wanasema tutaka kusoma elimu kuhusu mambo ya extremism, lakini mimi nasema hii haitakaniwi kusoma. Hii ni formality tu uwe nayo, lakini ili kudina hao watu mpaka uwe na elimu kuzaliwa kila siku. Maana kila siku wana system. So tutaweza kila siku kurudi board kusoma. So profesa, hii elimu ya watu kuchukua professionalism, nafikiri ni watu wengi wanaotumia. So ni watu wote tuwafanye wawe wasomi ili ndio tusipate kuwa na these people shoulders.
Al-Shabaab has 3 levels of recruitment. Maloni. Kuna recruitment ya watu wa kawaida tu, watu ambao hawajasoma sana, watu ambao hawana tajriba kubwa sana, na hii ni recruitment ya foot soldiers. Wale ambao mara nyingi ndio wanakuwa suicide bombers, wale ambao wanakuwa mstari wa mbele na ndio wanauawa haraka haraka. Alafu kuna kuwa na second level ya recruitment. Hawa ni recruitment ya technocrats. Watu ambao wata operate zile technical skills required by the violent extremist organization like Al-Shabaab, ISIS. And then there is the highest now, Ken Ahmad Iman and the others, who are now the think tank. People who will help them think. Now that is the recruitment that they normally target very highly educated people. And the main incentive they use when they are recruiting highly intelligent people is economic payback. You have taught in the university for 10 years. What do you have to show for it? Of course, nothing. Okay? So whatever you could not earn at the university for 10 years, we can give you just in 1 year if you join us. The more you have, the more you want. Are you getting my point? And therefore, the seduction, the luring, the incentive that they use is normally that. But one interesting thing is ile hali ya kwamba unataka kuinfluence watu, kama nilivyokuambia, unamgusa mtu pale alipo na kidonda na alafu unamtonesha. Nimefunza university karibu miaka 10, na some of our colleagues are really depressed. You know, the expectation is you wasted all of your years reading until you become a professor. And then at the end of the day, you ask yourself, what next? The majority of us get frustrated. We become depressed. We become lonely. And therefore, a small incentive can easily pull you to become a victim of circumstances. And that's why one of the cause of radicalization, or one of the pathway, radicalization has 4 pathways. One of the pathway is heroic redemption. Heroic redemption is being provided with an opportunity to feel your worthiness in life. And that's one way of keeping the young people away from recruitment, is to give them a platform to feel their weight, to feel worthy. Are you getting my point? And that's why every book you read, you will see the psychological connotation that the radicalizers use to make people see how beautiful it will be for them to join violent extremism. And one day I was one of the consultants to talk to the returnees, giving them counseling and whatever. So as I was talking to them, I asked them, what happened in the first place? Why did you join? Somebody who is in 4th year in the university, somebody who was just graduated, the boy who died in Garissa was a lawyer from Nairobi University, and the others. What really happened? And you say that idea of being carried as the most important person in your life makes you feel like you should give everything to become that particular person. And then the agreement is contractual agreement. It's just a year or two. But if the moment you accept, it becomes forever. Another one told me, Ma'alim, what is the whole purpose of life? Where is the destination of life? Hell or paradise? Where do you want to go? Paradise. Most of us want to go to paradise, but we don't want to die, unfortunately. We all want to go to paradise, but we don't want to die. You say, Ma'alim, 8 years primary school, 4 years high school, 4 years university, you become a doctor, you work 60 years, 70 years, and finally you die. You go to die. Today there is a shortcut for you to go to paradise. Why don't you take this shortcut and go just to paradise? Ma'alim, I die this morning, in the evening I'm having dinner with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So religion is also very powerful. And that's why violent extremism is an ideological movement. It's easy. Now with ideology, you can never engage someone who has low IQ in any discussion of ideology. Even when an extremist comes, you have a power of discussion, the power of negotiation, the power of turning what is negative to sound positive. To some extent, I've answered your question. And with this, I want to end my talk here. I will leave the PowerPoint so that it can be shared among yourself. And I say this, if you refuse to drink from the fountain of knowledge, you will die of thirst in the desert of ignorance. Thank you.